What God cannot do does not exist. Mine started 7 years ago. I went abroad to meet my brother who was already there for school and also for new pastures. On my arrival there, prior to my arrival, my brother was very successful. He was doing very good, sending money back home regularly. But on my arrival, everything started to fall apart. Everything that could go wrong started to go wrong. He started to fall sick. And then, because of the severity of the illness, I had to become his substitute decision maker, which means I have to be making medical decisions for him, attend courts, and also, meetings with doctors. And I was there as a student, so I started, struggling in school. I started to fall sick myself. I started losing all my hair on my body. I would wake up and see patches of hair on my pillowcase. Even when I was showering, I'll see it all over the shower. And then some days I won't be able to get out of bed. I was severely depressed and started failing in school. Before I knew what was happening, immigration said I had to leave because, I wasn't doing well in school, and rightfully so. As all of this was happening, I met my wife, By the way, the goal of this whole spiritual attack was to get me and my brother to come back home without nothing. And it felt like they were succeeding because my brother came with nothing. He had 2 cars, a house, and everything. But the way when he came back, he had nothing, absolutely nothing. And so while all of this was happening, I met my wife, and, we got married. We had 2 kids, and she was also, applying for permanent residence. Her time had come, and I told her not to put me in it because, my own immigration history was going to affect, her application, but she refused, and I bless God for that woman. And then you people are going to make me cry. She decided to put me in that application, and immediately she put me in that application, everything started to happen again. They've never refused her for any application since she's been abroad for 15 years, but they refused her work permit over a document that was already there in the first place. So while all of this was going on, they also sent a letter, immigration. It said I left the country or they were going to refuse the whole application. And they gave us 7 days to make a decision. My wife was 6 months pregnant by then, 2 kids. And heavily pregnant, no support whatsoever. I didn't know what to do, but I had a relationship already with God. So I asked the Holy Spirit and my other friends to take care of my wife. And I packed my bags and I left, said goodbye to my 2 kids, not knowing when or I didn't know when next I'll see them. But I was just, I just told myself I needed to take it one step at a time. And then on my way back, I was tearing up on the plane because I was also coming back with nothing, absolutely nothing, not a dollar in my pocket, So to me, they had succeeded, and I was just, I hadn't seen my family in 10 years, so I was trying to, just vibe myself up and say, oh, yeah, it's a good thing, I'm going to see them, da-da-da-da-da, but the thought was still at my back that I had achieved nothing. So anyways, I traveled down. A lady that I met that was my seatmate, we got to, talking. She told me her story. I told her mine, and she told me that I had speed, and to me it was weird. She sounded nuts to me because, I've been going through delay and stagnation, and yet you're telling me about speed. But, I just discarded what she said. I came down. I stayed with my dad for a week, and then the next week I came to my sister's place. She's an NSPPDN commissioner here, so she told me that if I join this place, if I don't receive what I'm asking God for, that I shouldn't listen to whatsoever she tells me again. So I decided to join, and I also my first service here, I met a guy, he came to do his testimony. Matthew is a footballer in Russia, I think. So his testimony really touched me. I was tearing up, and I told God here that, if he showed me and my family mercy, that I would come here, I would stand here. I won't send a video. I would stand here and give my testimony. So during the mid-year fast, we're fasting, we're praying, and I was also seeing testimony from another woman who had an immigration issue, and she put a date, she put a date in there. And it was weird to me, why are you putting date and asking God for something, So she put a date there, but something told me, copy that formula. So I did it. I put my own date on my immigration document, and I was praying. I told my wife about it. My date was July 15th. And then Pastor Jerry said, print out your evidence. So I didn't print it out, to be honest. My sister was the one who printed it out because all of this was weird to me. I've never prayed like that before. So she printed it out, but I put my date. I filled out my name and everything, and we were praying over it. My date was 15 July. I kid you not, church. 15 July before 12 a.m. Before 12 a.m. Before 12 a.m., my wife got her work permit. So how it works anyways is that, you need your work permit to apply for permanent residence. If you don't have your work permit, they'll keep going through the process, but they will decline you at the end. So she got that work permit, and then she was asking me what happened. I said, I don't know what happened. I'm joined this church. They are all crazy, and I'm doing I'm doing what they are doing, and it's working. So I decided, I was still praying because it wasn't the end of the whole, game. So I was still praying. The Holy Spirit put it on my mind to put another date again for when my permanent residence will come out. So I put another date, August 20th, and we're praying. I think Pastor Jerry's birthday is August 22nd. So I put that date, August 20th, and we're praying. August 20th, when nothing came, I was telling my wife that, wow, nothing came, or like, I'm surprised. But August, and it was because of Pastor Jerry. God saved it for his birthday. Because August 22nd, before the end of Pastor Jerry's this thing, I was trying to fast. The Holy Spirit said, no, don't fast. It's time to celebrate. So he told me to go and buy everybody something in the house. So I bought everybody something. They were asking me what's happening. I told them that something is coming. I've been given an instruction. So that 22nd, before 11 p.m. again. The reason why it's always 11 p.m. is because we check our email by then. We don't check it before then, just before we're going to bed. By 11 p.m., the email came before, so we checked the email, and it said, congratulations, we are ready for you to give you your permanent residence. So I'm sorry, this is so long. I'm trying my best to wrap up everything quickly. The way it works is that the principal applicant has to go through first, and then they will turn to the secondary applicants. So my wife had gone through, and it was now my turn. But I was scared, because immigration history, non-compliance, all of that, But I was just trying to, just tell myself that God will do what he will do. And I just kept telling myself that even if, God, you do not show me, you do not bless me with this thing, I'll still worship you. So it's not a problem for me, but this is what I want, and I'll ask for it. I'll have the courage to ask for it. So anyways, I submitted my documents to VFS. One of our friends, she was telling us not to submit it to Abuja because it takes 3 months, and I don't have 3 months. My wife is going to deliver soon, so my own plan, the only thing I want is to be there at the hospital when my wife is put into bed, So she's saying the Abuja one to take 3 months. We ended up submitting it to the VFS in Abuja, and I started regretting it, because my brain was just starting to attack me. Anyways, we submitted it, and I went to God. I said, God, they say it's 3 months, but you have to do something that only you can take the credit for. Church, I put another date again. October 3rd was my final date. I said, God, you will do this one. And I told everybody, I told my dad, I said, book my ticket, I'm going. And then by that October 3rd, nothing. I was checking, nothing. I was hearing this thing in my voice, the Holy Spirit again, telling me that, okay, go to VFS and collect it. But it's weird, how are you going to just pop up into somewhere and tell them to give you your passport? So I decided to wait. I was just, I went to go buy orange somewhere, and then I came back after, when I looked at my phone, VFS told me that they are ready for you to come and collect your passport. And we saw it online that they had finally, we checked online because they have this portal that you can check your stuff, and what it showed there was case closed, church. Case closed. And I've just come to thank God. If God did not show me mercy, God, I said it, if you did not show me mercy, if you did not answer my prayer, God, I said it, I was still